Karachi, the largest city in Pakistan, home to 18 million residents, and also the fastest growing megacity in the world. This metropolis constitutes 22% of Pakistan's urban population, with a constant influx of migrants seeking jobs from all over the country. It is also the only port city in Pakistan. In 1947, at the time of independence, Karachi was a city of 450,000 people. To the north of it was the seasonal Liari River, and beyond that to the north, there were extensive fields, orchards, and pasture lands. To the east of Liari was the Malir Oasis. Post-independence, Karachi's master plans declared these parts as protected green areas. However, due to large-scale migration from India and other parts of Pakistan, the entire Liari belt and part of the Malir Oasis were converted into formal and informal low and lower middle income housing. The only green areas that have survived along the Liari riverbed are the traditional graveyards of the Muslims, Hindus and Jews.
हमारे स्टोरी के मुताबिक हमारे इलाके हसनौलिया विलेज को 250 साल से ऊपर हो चुके हैं। हमें याद है कि इस नदी लियारी नदी में पहले साफ पानी आता था। यहाँ छोटे छोटे कुएं बनते थे, वहाँ से लोग अपनी ज़िंदगी की ज़रूरतें पूरी करते थे, पानी के कपड़े धोते थे, पीते थे और उसे अपने बर्तन वगैरह सब कुछ यही पानी को यूज़ करते थे, इस्तेमाल करते थे। यहाँ बाकायदा एक काश्त होती थी, फसलों की काश्त होती, लोग सब्ज़ियाँ बोते थे। लेकिन जूँ कराची शहर बढ़ता गया, कराची शहर की आबादी बढ़ती गई और कराची का जितना भी सेवरेज लाइन है, तकरीबन इस इलाके के जितने भी सेवरेज लाइन है, सबको आके लियारी नदी में छोड़ दिया है। और आप ये देखो, अगर जहाँ मीठा पानी चलता था वहाँ दरख्तें होंगी, घास होगा, सब कुछ होगा। अब इस आप नदी को देखो, बगैर सवाए इस कीकर के झाड़ियों के और कुछ नहीं होता।
This expansion of the city into the pasture land of the villages located on the periphery in the Karachi district has continued. And over 150,000 residential plots have been developed here in just the last 3 years, suffocating what were meant to be Karachi's lungs.
Karachi used to have a very thriving rural hinterland. Agricultural practices here were very sound. And even till like in the 1973 master plan, we had a very clear vision of where we wanted to go in terms of expanding the agricultural base and using it in a way so that food security is ensured in Karachi. But then a number of things happened actually, because of which the agricultural and the rural hinterland in Karachi is now in fact facing an existential threat. The proportion of agricultural land to built up land, the agricultural land was 4 times that of built up land in 1948, but by 2010 it was 0.4%. In 1960, 61% of the land in Karachi was cultivable land, but by the year 2000 it was left to only 19%. So that's a massive reduction in the cultivable land and agricultural land. All these areas are, massively extracted for sand and gravel. 318,000 cubic feet of gravel and sand being extracted every day. So it's an enormous amount, and up to 20 feet to 30 feet depth, at most places have been extracted. And more alarmingly is the groundwater level that has been going down. It's more than 300 feet now, and that's according to a study recently done by the Department of Geography, University of Karachi. This reduction in the agricultural land also has an implication for climate change, for example, because green spaces act as a very strong resilience factor within the city in combating, for example, extreme heat events and also urban flooding. Because in case of urban flooding, the green spaces within the city, they act as an infiltration basin.
To accommodate Karachi's expanding population, the city sprawled into its rural areas. This was regarded as godsend for the poor, providing them with relatively affordable land on which they could build their houses. But residents here are beginning to feel otherwise.
मैं इसलिए आई थी, मेरा कोई घर नहीं था, किराए पे रहती थी। मैं हालत से तंग आके मैं इधर आई थी, तो इधर पता चला ये 8,000 में ज़मीन मिल रही है, 300 रुपये महीने पे। तो अब फिर मैंने अपने 19,000 जमा करा हुआ था, मैंने ये मकान ले लिया जंगल में। मैं चलो अपनी ज़मीन हो जाएगी, बच्चों का साथ हो जाएगा रहने का। जब से हम आए ना, जब से यहाँ दुखी उठा रहे हैं, बसें इतनी इतनी भरी भरी आती हैं कि औरतों को चढ़ने की जगह नहीं मिलती। फिर खड़े रहते हैं 1-1, 2-2 घंटे तक रोड के ऊपर। चिंची में बैठो, चिंची वाले को पैसे दो, 30 रुपये किराया लेता है वो, नागन तक के। शहर में तो ये बहुत करीब हो जाते हैं हम, वहाँ तो क्यों बंगले हैं, प्लाजे हैं, हर नौकरी मिल जाती, 2-2 घर में भी जाके कर सकती हूँ मैं। बच्चे भी मेरे महफूज रहते हैं वहाँ पर। अब मैं सोचती हूँ मकान बेचने की, तो इसकी कीमत बहुत कम लग रही है।
पहले हम लालू खेत में रहते थे किराए पे, और वहाँ अच्छी तरीके से हम लोग यानी कि ज़िंदगी गुजार रहे थे। वहाँ ये था कि फ़ौरन तो हर चीज़ जगह के लिए गाड़ी मिल जाती थी, एक ही गाड़ी सफ़र करते थे। और फिर वहीं के में 2-3 बच्चे हमारे काम करते थे लालू खेत में। कम से कम हमारे यानी कि एक आदमी के 70 से लेके 80 तक खर्चा है खाली किराए का, और 2 घंटे, पौने 2 घंटे का यानी कि सफ़र करना पड़ जाता है। यानी कि अगर यहाँ से हम शहर में किराए पे रहते हैं ना, तो वो हमारे लिए बेहतर है।
According to a study done by the Urban Resource Center in Karachi, the challenges associated with commuting over long distances can be judged from the manner in which more than 2,000 women travel from just 3 urbanized villages in the north to elite settlements in the south for their livelihoods. They leave home at 6 a.m. and don't return till 7 or 8 p.m., spending around 4 hours in transit. The commute costs approximately 90 rupees a day, which is roughly equivalent to 50% of rented accommodation in the city centre. To overcome some of the negative aspects of living on the fringe, a new phenomenon is emerging in this rapidly growing city. This is the densification of the old inner city's low-income, formal and informal settlements. Individual homes on small lots are being turned into high-rise apartment blocks, not only changing the lifestyles of the inhabitants, but also the physical form of the city. Punjab Colony exemplifies this trend, where demand for living in the city centre is driving this densification.
इन्वेस्टर है यहाँ पे, जो है ना, इन्वेस्टर हैं वो पैसा लगाते हैं। जैसे आपकी ज़मीन है, आपकी ज़मीन नीचे से ले लेते हैं, आपको लगा, उसके ऊपर वो लोग खर्चा करते हैं, आपको 1+3 इस तरह जैसा भी उनकी वो हिसाब किताब होता है उस तरीके से वो लोग दे देते हैं। बाकी सारा वो इन्वेस्ट करके बाकी वो सब वो अपना सेल कर देते हैं। मकसद ये हमारी अपनी ज़मीन है, इन्वेस्टर को हमने दी है, लेकिन ये है कि अभी 3 साल गुजरने के बाद भी जो है अभी तक वो जगह जो है हमारी कंप्लीट नहीं हो सकी है। और अभी ये है कि इन्वेस्टर है वो भागा हुआ है, तो ये है कि जगह हमारी अभी फड्डे में पड़ी हुई है।
कंस्ट्रक्शन हुई है, ये कैंटोनमेंट बोर्ड के हिसाब से ले दे की हुई है। वो पैसा लेते हैं तो कंस्ट्रक्शन होती है, न ड्राइंग है न डिज़ाइन है। उन्होंने अपनी एक आजारादारे बनाई हुई है, वो चौधरी बने हुए, हमें जिस तरह चाहे वो रख सकते हैं।
Increasing number of families wish to live within closer to the city, closer to places of work, and that is what is driving this densification. The private sector has stepped in, informal private sector has stepped in to cater to this demand. Much of this development is informal. In the case of the Kachi Abadis, it's completely informal. Therefore, these structures are not monitored. They don't follow any rules, regulations of the Karachi Building Control Authority. These high-rise buildings are built on very shallow foundations. In an earthquake, they will simply collapse. Rules and regulations related to ventilation, related to light are not followed. The apartments are becoming smaller and smaller so that they can become affordable to the people in low-income settlements. In the process, you have large families living in one room or two rooms, creating immense congestion. And naturally, when there is such congestion, there are bound to be social problems associated with it. Also, many of these not many, but all these high-rise buildings that are being built in the Kathiawardis have no lifts. So people have to walk up 7 floors, 6 floors. They can stay cooped up in their apartments because it's a difficult process going up and down, especially for elderly people and for children.
Janti Pawar is a clerk who lives in a rented flat in the center of the city. The disadvantages of living here are numerous.
मेरे घर में मेरी फैमिली टोटल 7 अफराद हैं, मम्मी पापा है, मैं हूँ, सिस्टर है, 2 बच्चे, मेरी वाइफ है। अगर किसी और के घर पे आप जाओगे ना तो आपको 8 या 10 फैमिली एक ही घर के अंदर एक ही कमरे में आपको मिलेगी। बस 2 कमरे, एक सहन है, जिस पे हम मम्मी पापा है वो सहन में सो जाते हैं और हम लोग हमारे बच्चे हम एक कमरे में सोते हैं। मसले मसाले कभी, क्योंकि हमारी जो है सैलरियाँ ना टाइम पर नहीं होती, तो हम लोग कभी लेट दे देते तो हमें इतनी बातें सुना के जाता है कि पूरी बिल्डिंग वाले सुनते हैं। फिर कभी कभार ऐसा भी होता है वो हमें धमकियाँ भी देके कि भाई घर खाली करो वरना सुबह बजता हम खुद आके आपका सामान बाहर निकाल देंगे।
In spite of this, Pawar and his family prefer these conditions over those associated with living on the city's edge, where he might be able to own a house.
यहाँ से इतना आसान है इसलिए कि यहाँ से बच्चों की स्कूल मेरे करीब है और मेरी जॉब भी करीब है। अगर ऐसा कि हम लोग कहीं कराची से बाहर के रहते और बच्चे मेरे शहर में पढ़ रहे तो वहाँ से यहाँ लाना बड़ा डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाएगा। अगर वहाँ जगह मैं ले ली और मुझे सहूलत ही वो ना मिले तो फिर मेरे तो सारा बेकार है, क्योंकि जितना मैं वहाँ से आने किराया दे दूँगा करना उसके बेहतर मैं यहाँ ही रह के इसको किराया दे के क्लियर ना करूँ।
Clearly, demand for accommodation in the urban center is driving densification. But it's not the only reason.
So that is one aspect of densification. The other is that families are multiplying. So what happens is that people build upwards to accommodate their expanding families. These are the two trends that are currently changing the landscape of the informal settlements in Karachi.
देखिए, हाउसिंग के हवाले से जहाँ तक आप बात कर रहे हैं तो हाउसिंग के हवाले से हमारे इलाके में ख़ासकर जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम है शुरू से, तो लिहाजा तब्दीली इतनी ज़्यादा तक नहीं आई। जो हमने घर देखा हुआ पहले जब हमने बचपन में देखा कम से कम एक कमरा था, जो अब जाके अगर उसके बच्चे हुए, बच्चों ने शादियाँ कर ली, उसी जगह पर डबल होकर 2-3 कमरे बन गए और इसी बुनियाद पर जो है इलाका मतलब बढ़ तो रहा है लेकिन कि जगह तो महदूद है। आपको मालूम है कि जगह कोई मतलब 100 गज़ को 200 गज़ तो नहीं कर सकता, अलबत्ता उसको स्टेप बाय स्टेप बढ़ा रहे हैं, बिल्डिंगें बन रही हैं।
Meanwhile, Karachiites are increasingly taking to motorbikes to save travel time and to increase their mobility. According to official figures, the number of motorbikes on the roads increased from 450,000 in 1990 to 500,000 in 2004. The figure has risen to well over 1.4 million in 2013. This increase, however, does not help women, as women in Karachi don't ride motorbikes because of cultural constraints and safety issues.
आए दिन तो मोटरसाइकिल जो आदमी चला रहे हैं उनका एक्सीडेंट हो जाते हैं बेचारे, इतनी बुरी बुरी मौत मरते हैं। हमने देखा हमारे गली में ही हुए हैं एक्सीडेंट इतने, तो आदमी नहीं चला सकते तो हम औरतें कहाँ से चलाएंगी यहाँ मोटरसाइकिल। निज़ाम इतना सड़कों का ख़राब यहाँ पे, कुछ चल देते हैं। अभी हमारे यहीं पे एक्सीडेंट हुआ है।
मोटरसाइकिल पे जाता हूँ, 120 रुपये का पेट्रोल आने में लगता है, आधा घंटा लगती है पहुँचने में और आधा घंटा लगती है आने में। जिस दिन हड़ताल हो जाए, क्या कोई बंदे मारे जाते हैं, कोई मसले मिसाइल हो जाते तो बड़ी तंगी का सामना होता है। और जिस दिन यानी कि पैसे नहीं है जेब में पेट्रोल डलाने के, बस में यानी कि कहते हैं कि बाइक ख़राब हो गई है तो 2-2 घंटे हमें वहाँ पे पहुँचने में लग जाता है।
The once attractive proposition of owning land on the informally developed fringes is further at stake with the cost of land having risen from 176 rupees in 1991 to 10,000 rupees per square meter today. This is an increase from almost twice the value of the daily wage then to over 40 times the value of the daily wage for unskilled labor today. Much of Karachi's land use, housing and transport problems could be overcome if the poor lived near their places of work in formally planned areas. This is not impossible as Karachi has substantial government land both within the city and on the immediate periphery.
What has happened over the past several decades is that new satellite schemes had been planned and the poor were actually dispersed with an anticipation that fast-moving transportation links would be able to connect them to the places of work, especially in the city center, as well as the new industrial locations which were created. The inner city areas were considered to be high-priced and high-value lands, which were apportioned for different types of uses other than low-income houses. It is usually believed that lower income settlements will eventually become ill-managed and will not have a potential to maintain a certain type of urban morphology, urban performance which is desired by the relatively high-end real estate developers. But one thing which has been missing in our policy framework is the possibility of allocating funding, allocating credit for acquiring land. Usually the credit is kept for the construction of properties on land which is already owned by any owner. However, we all know that the poor do not have the means to access land without the availability of credit. And if various type of instruments are generated in the form of cooperative mechanisms or in certain cases collective low-income groups, that can in fact provide a very effective mechanism of making inner city lands accessible to the poor.
Meanwhile, city dwellers are increasingly opposed to this planning mindset that relegates them to the fringes rather than accommodate them closer to the center.
भाई हम जाना ही नहीं चाहते, हमको जब यहाँ हमारी जगह पे हमारे वतन में जहाँ हम रह रहे हैं हमको यहीं सहूलत देना। सरजानी टाउन में क्यों देवे, हमको यहीं दे देवे, डिफेंस में दे देवे, पंजाब कॉलोनी में दे देवे, गुलशन इकबाल में दे देवे, गुलशन मेहमान में दे देवे। हमको इतना दूर क्यों भेजे कि हम लोग ऐसे फालतू गए हैं जो हम लोग को खड्डे में भेजेगा हुकूमत।
तो एक जो घर होता है ना जिसे कहते हैं माँ, ज़मीन को कहते हैं, पाकिस्तान को कहते हैं, जहाँ बंदा रहता है वही रिहाइश अच्छी होती है। मैं मर जाऊँगा तो आप कई माह बाद से सरजानी नहीं आओगे, वहाँ सिर्फ जनाजे में 10 लोग होएंगे, 20 होएंगे, 30 होएंगे। यहाँ मैं मरूँगा तो 400 लोग होएंगे।
Because of Karachi's rapidly increasing middle class, as well as political conflicts, the issue of land has also become politicized.
Political parties, have also now been divided along ethnic lines. MQM people relate with the Urdu-speaking community. People's Party, which is a party having a national stature, is being associated with the Sindhi community in Karachi. ANP, also a national party, is being associated with the Pashto-speaking community. So that's very unfortunate. Then, of course, as is being witnessed very clearly now, that land is being settled, particularly in the peripheral areas of Karachi, on ethnic basis, on political basis, on party basis. So, of course, that also creates a lot of friction. And of course, when you have that kind of a tension that is created, then there is, of course, naturally a spill off in the form of violence and crime and killings. Yeah.
There are 13 different land-owning agencies in Karachi, each with their own bylaws and zoning regulations, and with little coordination with each other. Also, the government's unwillingness to provide land for additional housing near the city centre or the immediate periphery is prompting existing settlements to develop upwards. The crux of the issue is of the urban poor gaining access to formal housing, as 70% of Karachi's population comprises of this social group.
You know, you cannot do without planning. These things are happening, they are taking shape, but they can happen in a planned manner. You have to have an acceptance of this to begin with. Then you can support it through loans, through new planning rules and regulations that informal developers can follow. We have not made any such attempt so far. We have just let this happen. We have not accepted it, nor have we rejected it. The solution, of course, lies that where state land is available, you have low-income housing, and you support it with loans. Karachi, which right now is 4 towns, really distinct cities, divided between the rich, the poor, the elite, and the middle class. I think it will become a multi-class city, and I think we need to do that. A very important factor that would help in the creation of this multi-class city is the circular railway. Where the circular railway intersects with the road network, those are the ideal locations for the development of high-density, low-income housing. And you have lots of land at these intersections that can be used for this purpose. Karachi cannot expand any further. It has to densify. This is what Karachi needs, and this is what is happening, although we are not officially catering to that need.
Housing demand in Karachi is 80,000 units per year, of which the formal sector fulfills only 40%. Traditionally, the rest has been provided by the development of individual plots in informal settlements on the city's fringes. Given the rising cost of transport and land, this is no longer a viable option. Hence, the densification of the inner city informal settlements through the building of high-rises will not only increase, but will accelerate, creating islands of poverty and deprivation in areas of relative affluence. The repercussions of such gross urban inequalities are social and political conflicts, which are already taking a violent turn in the city. One of the ways in which a level of equity and justice can be established is by facilitating this densification rather than ignoring it. By utilizing state land within the city for high-density, low-income housing and making it affordable through appropriate fiscal policy. The failure to do this will turn an already divided Karachi into an even more environmentally degraded and poor, unfriendly city. Our political and bureaucratic stance towards this issue reflects an anti-poor bias which must be overcome for a sustainable future of peace and prosperity for all.
नहीं आता था। यहाँ छोटे छोटे कुएं बनते थे, वहाँ से लोग अपनी ज़िंदगी की ज़रूरतें पूरी करते थे पानी के, कपड़े धोते थे, पीते थे और उसे अपने बर्तन वगैरह सब कुछ यही पानी को यूज़ करते थे, इस्तेमाल करते थे। यहाँ बाकायदा एक काश्त होती थी, फसलों की काश्त होती, लोग सब्जियाँ बोते थे। लेकिन जूँ कराची शहर बढ़ता गया, कराची शहर की आबादी बढ़ती गई और कराची का जितना भी सेवरेज लाइन है, तकरीबन इस इलाके के जितने भी सेवरेज लाइन है सबको आके लियारी नदी में छोड़ दिया है। और आप ये देखो, अगर जहाँ मीठा पानी चलता था वहाँ दरख्तें होंगी, घास होगा, सब कुछ होगा। अब इस आप नदी को देखो, बगैर सवाए इस कीकर के झाड़ियों के और कुछ नहीं होता।
Growing megacity in the world. This metropolis constitutes 22% of Pakistan's urban population, with a constant influx of migrants seeking jobs from all over the country. It is also the only port city in Pakistan. In 1947, at the time of independence, Karachi was a city of 450,000 people. To the north of it was the seasonal Liari River, and beyond that to the north, there were extensive fields, orchards, and pasture lands. To the east of Liari was the Malir Oasis. Post-independence, Karachi's master plans declared these parts as protected green areas. However, due to large-scale migration from India and other parts of Pakistan, the entire Liari belt and part of the Malir Oasis were converted into formal and informal low and lower middle income housing. The only green areas that have survived along the Liari riverbed are the traditional graveyards of the Muslims, Hindus, and Jews.
हमारे स्टोरी के मुताबिक हमारे इलाके हसनौलिया विलेज को 250 साल से ऊपर हो चुके हैं। हमें याद है कि इस नदी लियारी नदी में पहले साफ पानी।
This expansion of the city into the pasture land of the villages located on the periphery in the Karachi district has continued. And over 150,000 residential plots have been developed here in just the last 3 years, suffocating what were meant to be Karachi's lungs.
Karachi used to have a very thriving rural hinterland. Agricultural practices here were very sound, and even till like in the 1973 master plan, we had a very clear vision of where we wanted to go in terms of
Karachi, the largest city in Pakistan, home to 18 million residents, and also the fastest